Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together. Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul. How you doing?
I am doing fine.
Rested, I imagine?
Well, is it too early to say Merry Christmas?
You know what? It's never too early to say Merry Christmas. I've been saying it since the start of November, but we are going to jump into that in just a moment. We have a show lineup to share with you guys this morning. In today's line of conversations, we're going to start things off with PAHO highlighting new health priorities for Belize. Then Edward P. Arc High School bringing fresh insight to World Children's Day. Also, unwrapping the magic of Coca-Cola's Christmas deal. So speaking of Christmas, you can very much talk about it now, Paul. And finally, Japan's cultural connections shine at Garifuna Concert.
Yeah, excellent.
All right. Well, it is officially November 20th. And it was just on Tuesday. I was at a location doing a shoot, and I was just kind of people watching while waiting for our cameraman to come in, and I heard some people talking on the sidelines. There were some workmen, Paul, and they were loading up a truck, and they sounded so excited about the 19th coming in, which would have been the next day. And I heard this man say, well, you know, when the clock strike 12, the officially Christmas time. And it was so cool to see these guys who, you know, they're hardworking men talking about the fact that 19th is coming up, but officially when that clock strikes 12, it's officially Christmas in Belize. And it's very true. I've been seeing people post up their Christmas trees online, for sure from the beginning of this month. And I will admit, I've been one of them too. But a lot of people consider Christmas officially beginning in Belize on the 20th of November.
That's, of course, without overlooking the grand celebration that took place yesterday.
Absolutely.
There were images that surfaced from out of Dangriga. Man, people, a lot of people made it down south. Even here in Belize City, there were celebrations, but in Dangriga, the epicenter of the Garifuna Settlement Day celebration, and I don't know how everybody feels about it, but there are some people that agrees and disagrees with how the celebration plays out in terms of the Bellikin truck and the big truck and all the whining and gyrating and drinking will take place. But all in all, the culture is alive and well, and I could see that just from the celebrations that took place the 18th night into the 19th morning, Urime, Baularuga, party till morning, alarm now on this side, you know. And that one I never forget. So, I know, big up the Garifuna culture, big up my Garifuna brothers and sisters, and it was good to see the celebration across the country.
Well, I know a lot of people had some thoughts, Paul, about our dance moves on the 18th.
Oh, yeah.
And come on, guys, let's be honest. We're not dancers, and we shared that from the start, and drummers apparently, and we shared that from the start of our show. Of course, we know that there was some clippings that went online, and people had their thoughts about our movements and our sounds coming from the drums. We are no professionals, and forgive us. I saw some people even saying, if you can't dance, no mock the culture. We weren't mocking. We're just not dancers.
That's fine. I can't control what people think, right? And I
just wanted to clarify. We weren't making fun of anything.
Yeah.
We
don't do that on this show. We don't make fun of people and culture. No. But they can't control what people think or what people type. I think all of we wish we could control what people say on social media, because then we could control the narrative. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
All right, Paul, let's moving.
Here's what you need to know before you leave your home this morning. There are 5 things you need to know. We might add a couple more just as we go along, because I think there's a couple other important topics. But Jose Mai steps down amid health speculation swirls, amid health concerns, and then speculation swirls. Isabella Zabani shines for costume and preliminaries at MU competition. Trump signs bill directing DOJ to release Epstein case files for those who are interested in that situation. Bangladesh's former PM sentenced to death. An interesting one there. I saw and I read some articles on that as well. And last but certainly not least, Haiti qualifies for their first World Cup in 50 years. And another
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then there's another historic event with football where Curacao, a Caribbean island, also qualified as one of the smallest countries in the world to qualify for the World Cup. So that goes right up there with Haiti, and some would even argue that's even a bigger accomplishment in the football world.
All right. Well, let's move straight into it, Paul. I know that the last time we were here on the couch, which was on Tuesday, we spoke at length about the groundbreaking, the very shocking revelation that there was a resignation from Minister Jose Abelardo Mai. He was the Minister of Agriculture, Food Security, and most recently, New Growth Industries. Now, there's been several speculations surrounding his departure, but the most recent update, which came directly from the Prime Minister himself, Honorable John Bersenio, was that it was health involved. He essentially had a bad back. I know that you also gave a lengthy report on that on the news on Tuesday night as well, kind of looking at certain persons who also suffered from bad backs since taking on, office. And a lot of people aren't buying it, Paul. I think that's where we are right now. A lot of people are saying, but do you resign for something like that? Well, the Prime Minister he didn't use the word resign, he used a leave of absence. So I think the question that a lot of people are asking right now, is it a leave of absence or is it a resignation? That's not what was said by the Prime Minister. Yeah, well, the Prime Minister didn't deny that it was a resignation, and we confirmed from reliable sources on Monday afternoon, and I'm talking like I could almost put money on the account we received that Minister Mai handed in his resignation on Monday afternoon. What I did hear the Prime Minister explain on Tuesday was that due to the bad back situation, they need to place somebody else to lead the ministry. And so essentially that is to say, this is the reason why Minister Mai had to vacate the position, to leave the position so that he makes room for somebody else to take over. So essentially, the PM didn't say sick leave, the PM didn't say resignation. He steered clear of giving it a definition, and I think that's very strategic on his part. You're right, Sabrina, to say that a lot of people aren't buying it. There's a great deal of skepticism surrounding Minister Mai's departure from the Ministry of Agriculture. I don't know, I've had multiple interactions, numerous in fact, over the past 5 years with Minister Mai, and he comes off as a strong and healthy individual who's able to debate robustly in the House and speak with great deal of passion, who's on the ground, getting his hands dirty just as much as every other farmer. And he's also been here on the couch with us.
Right, he's also been here on this couch with us. I'm just an observer, and from my observation, because of his strength, he doesn't strike me as someone, and this is my skepticism, right? He doesn't strike me as someone that will back away from a challenge or step away from leading such a huge ministry that he is clearly passionate about, and he's done some great things. You have to give it to him where that ministry is concerned over the years. In fact, when you think agriculture, you think Minister Mai instantly, and I don't think he didn't come off to me as somebody that would back off from that ministry simply, and I say simply and I use that loosely, because of an issue with his back, right? So that's the first thing. That's part of where my skepticism come in. But also, after investing so much and doing so much work and almost treating this ministry as somewhat like your baby, right? Because when you talk to Minister Mai about anything concerning agriculture and enterprise and shipment and export and stuff, he's on the ball and he's ready to discuss it. Even if he doesn't have all the details, he's ready to answer your questions, and he's ready to inject confidence in the public where the Ministry of Agriculture is concerned. And when you look at the team that's behind him at the Ministry of Agriculture, clearly they're confident in his leadership, and they've been performing and increasing in performance. The people that we've had on this couch that talks about cattle, that talks about produce, that talks about carrots, that talks about the cabbage, even the farmers, they know that they can rely on Minister Mai.
Because Mr. Mai is a farmer himself.
Right, because he also has a degree. When you so we talk about having leaders in positions that are competent and that are able to actually lead those positions. Well, Minister Mai had a degree in that field, and he has a degree in that field. So another part of why I'm skeptical is the fact that now he, with all this knowledge and all this experience and expertise, decides that because I have this injury, according to the Prime Minister, I'm going to give this up, and I'm going to throw this ministry that I have worked so hard and invested so hard in, and I'm going to throw it up in the air, wherever it lands, to whomever it lands. Well, so be it. God be with you all. I'm going to leave and deal with my back. I find that hard to accept or swallow, as just from the surface of it, from the face of it, that you just give it up and say wherever it land, it land.
Yeah.
And then another part of the skepticism that I'm hearing from the public is that there are others, elected representatives, government officials, appointed officials, who've had health issues, right? Who've had major health issues. And instead of resigning, they instead take time to recover. You still see their faces. They're still very much involved, because resignation speaks to, I'm no longer going to be involved.
It's more of a permanent decision.
Right, it's more of a permanent decision, or a full resignation from duties in that position. We spoke about former Prime Minister Dean Barrow, who for years dealt with issues with his back, and instead of resigning or throwing up that position in the air and say, whosoever catch it and whosoever it lands on, they could move on with it.
The Speaker of the House.
Yes, we heard elsewhere reference made to the Speaker of the House as well, who went through her own, and still is going through her own issues with her health, but she hasn't resigned, and we're looking forward to seeing her return to that seat as Speaker of the House in Parliament. So that's another part of where my skepticism comes from as well. So there's just those three things, like why happen that way?
But I mean, it could also be countered by saying, who are we to say
how bad the
someone,
situation,
can't take a decision to step aside because of the severity of their health issue as well. I mean, we're not the persons to speak for someone, especially if we don't know the severity of it.
I like that.
Where my concern comes from is with all the speculations swirling and all the allegations as well swirling, we haven't heard directly from him.
Yeah,
we've reached out to him. We tried several times, especially after getting that statement from the Prime Minister. We haven't seen him in a minute as well. I know the last we spoke of him, he was on a trip to Brazil, where he also questioned, if you have such a severe back ailment,
13 hours.
How could you travel for 13 hours? I mean, maybe he's traveling first class very comfortably, but I mean, that aside, it's still a long sitting period. You're gonna feel some discomfort. And so there are still very much concerns and questions surrounding it. And I think a lot of people aren't believing this entire story here. But putting that aside, Paul, the show must go on.
It must go on. And
so
we asked on Tuesday what would happen next.
Exactly. That was also a question that we asked, and it was also posed to the Prime Minister. What happens next? Now we have an entire ministry up in the air. And I think what took us even more by surprise was the replacement of that minister. We now have a familiar face. He was he was the minister of the Ministry of Transport
and Sports
and Youth.
Don't forget.
And you will not forget as well that there was quite some discontent with how that ministry or how those portfolios were handled. That is Minister Ferguson. He is now the Minister of Agriculture, Food Security and New Growth Industries, and he has a lot of expectations on his lap now.
Yeah, clearly there were concerns about his performance within the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and that's putting it kindly. And I'm saying that while maybe the Prime Minister didn't have concerns, the public certainly had concerns about how that ministry was run under former Minister Rodwell Ferguson. And so there are speculations that the public concerns led to him basically getting a seat in the back bench, getting back bench, as they would put it, and being placed in the Prime Minister's office as a Minister of State. Now, you can't say that Minister Ferguson didn't do anything in the Ministry of Transport and didn't do anything in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, because guess what? When you're, at the end of the day, you're placed to work, and if you're working and you're showing up to work, some work will get done. But your capacity to carry out all that is required at that administrative level, a lot of people were questioning if he had the ability to do so in the Ministry of Transport, in the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And so now those concerns aren't dead in the public. People still remember, it's fresh. And so now you have Minister Rodwell Ferguson being placed to lead the Ministry of Agriculture and New Growth Industry. This is a huge ministry, and this is why I am skeptical about the Hosemai situation, because, brother man, you invest so much in this ministry, and then now you, with all the expertise, now somebody is replacing you that doesn't have that level of expertise. And so now we have to wait and see how Minister Ferguson will perform in this capacity. One thing is for certain, he'll show up to work. And once you show up to work, you will get work done. So there will be some things to show for it. Like for example, in the Ministry of Sports, he tried to launch this app. That was a great initiative. It eventually failed. But that initiative was launched because he showed up to work and he performed. He'll show up to work here and he will perform. But at what level will he perform? Does he have the fortitude? Does he have the know-it-all to perform at the level that is required within such a sensitive ministry, within a ministry that contributes so greatly to the GDP of this country? That is what is yet to be seen. And we don't know, but we have to wait and see. But a lot of people are asking those types of questions when it comes to Minister Ferguson. Well,
the question I'm also asking is this post temporary for him? Is he going to be a placeholder until whatever the situation is with Minister Mai, that is resolved or that dies down. What happens thereafter? Because the Prime Minister, again, did not use the word resignation. He didn't say that Minister Mai resigned. We have been quoting having credible sources that there was in fact a resignation. However, he is still an area representative. And so I'm certain whatever matter is before him, if that resolves itself, I imagine we won't be. This isn't the last of Minister Mai that we will be seeing. And so I'm curious to see what will take place throughout the rest of the year. We still have a month and a half more to go. Of course, if it does, if he's going to be slowly and quietly placed back in the ministry.
Yeah, just think about it quickly. Screwworm is still an issue. Cattle export is still a big thing on the table right now. And how do we diversify the agricultural industry to take raw products and make it into value-added product is still a huge issue. Climate change is big when it comes to agriculture in Belize. That's a huge issue. And we're only beginning to scratch the surface where that is concerned. As far as I see it, it's way big of a responsibility than within the Ministry of Transport. And if the public was concerned about how he performed in the Ministry of Transport, then they have all right to be concerned about how he will perform within the Ministry of Agriculture. But that is not to say that Minister Ferguson now has an opportunity to prove himself as a leader in another major ministry at this time around.
All right. Well, we will be following this. We'll continue to follow this, of course, as updates unfold. But, Paul, we do got to move things along. We have a weather update at this time.
Before we do that, can we talk a bit about Miss Universe? And
of course.
Tonight is the big show.
Tonight is the big show, and last night, while many were celebrating their 19th Garifuna Settlement Day, a lot of people were also glued to their devices watching our very own Isabella Zabanet shine on the international stage for the costume and preliminary competition. Isabella has been our Miss Universe Belize representative. And there's a lot of expectations on her. There's a lot of people who truly believe that she will be breaking that. I'm not even sure how long it's been since Belize has placed, but they truly believe that she has the potential to place on this stage. I know a lot of people were excited to see what she would be putting forward in terms of the final look for the costume competition. I believe that was revealed at some point here in Belize before she left as well. It's a depiction of the keelbill toucan, or national bird, as you can see there on her shoulders, looking magnificent in yellow, red, green, and black. Such a beautiful, I think, costume as well. But she also had to showcase her evening gown, as you guys saw moments ago. This is such a big deal. There's a lot of people currently tuning in and watching this competition. But I also saw some mishaps take place, Paul.
Ooh.
I believe I saw Miss Universe Jamaica completely fall off the stage as well. There was a lot of incidents, I'll take that back. There was a couple incidents. And I imagine it's just, with a show as big as this one, it really takes a lot in terms of production. And a lot of these girls, I mean, you go and you prepare yourself for months, or in some cases for years. Bella said that she's been preparing for this from she was a little girl. And then you have those final moments, that final shot on stage to convince the judges and to convince everyone that's watching that you are the next Miss Universe. There's a lot on your back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot to be nervous about.
And speaking about a lot on your back, Bella had a lot on her back with that costume, with that national costume. If we could go back to it, I remember when there was a great deal of controversy surrounding the images and the designs that were submitted, right? And I think in essence what was produced is somewhat of the organizers, and I didn't confirm this with them, and this is my analysis, sticking it to the critics to say, okay, when I think that we just and dash all the submissions, even though they say AI this and AI that, watch how we are pull it off. Watch how we are make it happen, and watch how we are make it look good on the Miss Universe stage. And as far as I'm concerned, I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I think it was
they
beautiful.
I think they did a really good job. I really like how they designed, or how they took the toucan and they really uplifted it with the shine and the sparkles and the bedazzle.
And you can never have too much sparkle on a stage like that.
Right. And then, so they did a good job with that, and it didn't appear to come off as too heavy for Bella and her small frame to carry, and I appreciate that. And when I looked at one image with Bella standing in front of a group and of others that were wearing their own national costumes, and she stood out. To me, my eyes drew directly to her in that instance, and that says something, right? It wasn't the entire field of contestants, but just the group. And I said, well, if you look better than that entire group, then at least you look better than that group there, from what I say, so you stand out amongst the group. Thing, right? So that's already a good thing. And then the evening gown, I was thoroughly impressed by how well designed it is. In fact, there are some videos that were posted yesterday about the behind the scenes making. I think it's Cesar Funes that designed the evening gown.
He's a Belizean designer.
The way how it dropped from her head to the back, it reminded me of a Marvel character. I can't remember the name right now, but there's a superhero that has a cape of that same color, and but they don't take it off like that. So she went from being that Marvel superhero to being this beautiful Disney princess.
I love your interpretation of it, Paul. It's
where
really
that evening dress is concerned. And what I really liked about the dress is how it sparkled in the light. Yeah. Like it really shined in the light. And then, of course, Bella, nobody works a dress the way she does, and her beautiful face and smile. We are really proud of her and how she's representing Belize. And of course, there was the swimsuit competition.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention that.
Right, so
a lot of people look forward to that as well.
Right, and so she wore like a yellow swimsuit yesterday as well. And tonight is the night we've all been waiting for. It's going to be the 21st in the Philippines, Thailand. 21st in Thailand, but for us it's going to be the 20th. So tonight, starting at 7 p.m., we are actually going to be seeing the wrapping up, if you would, the finale of the Miss Universe
and the shortlisting as well, to see who will make it to the top 30, and then they're gonna shorten that list all the way to the finalists. I'm excited. I imagine Isabella must be so nervous at this time. It's all winding down. This is where all the preparation leads up to.
Yesterday, someone close to me asked, so where do you think she had placed? Right?
Because you were one of the hosts for the local competition, so you would have been able to see up close and personal what her performance was like.
Yeah, but that local man,
but
that fried chicken panicana, we know the
No,
talk
it's
about.
not. I will never call it that, Paul.
As in comparison to the Thailand show, which is another level.
But I'm looking at her performance, not stage design and the magnitude of the show.
But anyways, people ask where we think she can place. If you ended at 30, because I think you got the top 30.
The top 30. If she places top 30, that's still history for us.
We've had, I think, one placement at 10, top 10.
I believe it was in some teens, but yes.
No, we're not quoted upon that, but yes, there was in the past, right? And I read an article about it. I don't know where she'll place. None of us knows where she will place, but I know for a fact that she's been doing well. She's been doing excellent. I know her family is out there with her. Some of the Miss Universe representatives, Belize representatives out there with her. And I expect her to place at least in the top 30. Can she go for a top 10? Hell yeah. Can she win this thing? Of course, outright she can win this thing, but she has some tough competition, right? And so we'll have to wait and see. I know there's an establishment down south that's doing a promotion tonight that if she places in the top 30, you get 5% off. If she places in the top 10, I think you get like 50% off. And if she wins,
everybody eat free.
Everybody eat free. Listen, I want to go there and gamble on it. I want to buy drinks for the entire establishment and just say, just pray with me that she win, because if not, I can't pay for this.
I love the excitement behind it. But definitely there are platforms that you can tune in to view it on. I'm not sure what those platforms are.
I'm not sure. I have cable, so I'm not to worry.
You don't worry.
Yeah. But Miss
Forgive
Universe,
us that don't have cable. We'll be figuring that
Miss
out later on
Universe has
tonight.
a YouTube page.
Okay.
That's where
yes.
at least the preliminaries were live yesterday on their YouTube page. Sorry. So perhaps tonight they'll also be streamed live on their YouTube page.
Let's cross our fingers on that. We know that it starts 7 p.m. And so we will be glued to our devices to see, hopefully, history be made. Paul, there was another item, though, that was not on the list that you wanted to mention, because we are calling it here, in Belize at least, on the 20th of November. It's Christmas time. And with Christmas time, there's a lot of people that they're going to be doing their shopping. They're going to be doing their spending. I could tell you, yesterday I came in the city and I saw Mirab open, Paul, in the parking lot.
Oh, you saw Mirab open. I saw it was open. I was dragged into Mirab.
You were there?
No, oh yeah, I was. Listen, I'm dragged everywhere. Anyways. Yeah, I was dragged into Mirab. So I was in there yesterday.
You look like you're wearing so much regret. I know that you enjoyed your trip to Mirab, but either way.
My pockets were the regret.
But here's the thing, if your pocket is currently in regret, you can be hopeful because there's some tax-free weekends coming up as well. And I know that a lot of people will be looking forward to that too. Last year, we also saw tax-free weekends. This was the government's initiative to kind of relieve some of the financial strains, especially at the end of the year. I think we also did it during the preparation for school, the reopening of school as well. And so I know a lot of people were hoping and anticipating the idea of another tax-free weekend. Well, good news. You can expect the same for this year as well. What are the dates for it this year?
The tax-free weekend is for the 6th and the 7th and the 20th and 21st, right? So the 6th and the 7th, it's 2 weekends away from this one. So you have this weekend, you have the next weekend, and then the 6th and the 7th. So that right after that, end of month pay, and then you got the 15th pay, where everybody gonna leave. Well, not everybody, a lot of people gonna leave bonus, and so they're able to go and take advantage of the tax-free weekend. Here's my thing: people will only be able to spend what they have.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the economy is performing so well that they will see a boost or a huge uptick in spending amongst the general population. People will only be able to spend what they have. And my advice to people is not to overspend
just because general sales stocks
is down, because then you will find yourself in a position where you're actually spending more than you could afford to spend, and you'll actually end up on the other end.
You're really falling to MAGA season in January. So now you're
really falling to MAGA season. You end up on the downside because you think, well, I take advantage of this, I take advantage of that, and you can fall into a trap. It's not that the government is creating a trap for you to fall into, because if you still use the very same budget that you would have used without the tax break, then you're able to stretch your money a little bit farther and get a little bit more than what you would have normally gotten. So now you can actually buy the cranberry.
Yeah.
Now you can actually buy the stuffings. Now you can actually buy a 2 cake, right? Or spend a little bit more on the cake ingredients and put icing on it if you like icing on your Christmas cake, right? Or perhaps you could buy the fruits. But don't overdo it and say, well, I want to buy 2 ham now, or I want to buy 2 turkey, when you know you can't afford it, because the economy is the economy at the time, at this point in time.
And your pay is still your pay.
And your pay is still your pay, unless you get a little bonus and you feel a little bit good. But then, of course, you could finally buy that toy for that kid, or buy that gift for that child that you've always wanted to buy. Just don't overexert yourself and overspend because you're going to leave tax break. But at the end of the day, go spend, because you get a little tax break. and just be wise about how you spend. But I welcome it. I think it's a great initiative. We did it last year. I thought it was really good. A lot of people took advantage of it.
Did you take advantage of it?
Yeah, and I decided to stay within my budget.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the same thing this year. I'm going to stay within my budget. Maybe I don't want to leave $50 more just to stretch it to a little bit farther. But I'll stay within my budget this year as I did last year, and that would be my advice to everybody out there.
Yeah, I also took advantage of it too. I bought, I used the day to buy my Christmas gifts. Yeah. And so I'm planning to do the same thing. I'm not going to be overspending, but that's also the motto that I live by in general. And so I'm not one to try to live above my means. I know around Christmas time, it's tempting though, because you want to see that house look spanking new for bringing 25th of December. And you also want to, in some cases, there are people that want to follow the Joneses too. But don't get distracted by everything that you see that's shining around you at the store. If you know you're a victim to that as well. Maybe don't even go to the store because there's a lot of temptation around you, and especially with the idea of a tax-free break, you might think that it's a really big cut, but it might not be that much as well.
Right.
So take that into consideration.
And also, no make the shopkeeper and chance, and tell oh, we can offer tax refund this item here, because the tax money, that's not for the shopkeeper. And we learned that last year. Some of we learned it the hard way, but we learned it. That tax money is for the government. And if the government say, I don't want it, then that means that the shopkeeper can't say, I want it, right? So these shopkeepers, these vendors are not allowed to charge you any of this sales tax on your products. And just keep that in mind every single time you make a purchase. But we have to wrap up this conversation.
We do. And on a final note, I want to also say that today is World Children's Day.
It is.
We will be having further conversations on that later on in the show. But I know that's a big deal for us across the world as well. I remember as a kid celebrating Children's Day and all the activities that would be involved in primary school. But in this case, we'll be talking more about that from the high school, the secondary level. So happy Children's Day to all the kids getting ready for school at this time. Yeah, you're probably still getting ready for school or maybe on your way there. But we do want to move things along, Paul. We have a weather update now. And this morning's weather update is brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. Here's our eye on the weather. Welcome back. This is our Eye on the Weather brought to you by the National Meteorological Service, and today's weather calls for sunny skies with a few cloudy spells and partly cloudy skies tonight. A few showers and possible isolated thunderstorms will likely affect mainly along the coast this morning and mostly over inland areas this afternoon. Shower activity will decrease this evening and become isolated tonight. In terms of temperatures, today's temperatures will look like 86 degrees Fahrenheit for highs along coastal areas, then dropping to a low of 78 degrees Fahrenheit. However, inland areas will be experiencing very similar temperatures with highs of 89 degrees Fahrenheit, then dropping to a low of 70 degrees. Quite chilly there. And in the hills, temperatures for highs will look like 78 degrees Fahrenheit, then dropping to a low of 67 degrees. Moving things along, our extended forecast for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way to Monday. Very similar temperatures. For highs, inland and coastal areas will be experiencing 87 degrees Fahrenheit and 89 on Friday. Then on Saturday and Sunday, this is the weekend, 86 and 90 as well for Sunday. But for lows, Friday will look like 78 and 70 for inland and coastal areas. And then on the weekend, 78 and 71, 77 and 72 on Sunday. And then on Monday, you can expect very similar temperatures for inland and coastal areas. 86 and 89 degrees Fahrenheit for highs, then dropping to lows of 77 and 72. The sun rose this morning at 6 a.m. and it's set to set at 5:16 p.m. The moon set will take place at 6:18 a.m. and will rise at 5:30 p.m. The sea state is light to chop with winds blowing from east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots. And today's tide, a high tide, will take place at 10:29 a.m. with a low tide taking place at 3:34 p.m. However, another high tide will take place at 9:28 p.m. and then tomorrow another low tide at 5 a.m. And that does it for our Eye on the Weather, brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. Paul, back to you.
Excellent. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be sitting down with our friends from PAHO, and they'll be discussing health priorities for Belize. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Me is that I just like my freedom, and when it comes to things like that, I just don't like feel tied down.
You think I don't know, but like my granny said, every part of the cover.
Well, I could say, I just do the runs, but one thing I could tell you, you can't deny one good connection.
Why get tied down? With Smart Supercharged prepaid plans, you get all the postpaid perks you love, but with no contracts. Just pay up front for your talk, text, and data package and enjoy total freedom for up to 30 days and starting as low as $35. That's right, no commitments for less than $1.25 per day. Just simple, flexible plans that keep you connected your way. Because with Smart, you call the shots. Dial 7526 or star 100#. Use the Smart app or visit a Smart prepaid agent to supercharge your connectivity today. Smart, bringing people together.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
It's celebration time! Greater Belize Media is turning 34 years strong. That's 34 years of bringing you the news you trust, the shows you love, and the stories that bring us together. So you know what that means. It's time for...
Give me five, give me five, give me five!
The countdown begins on December 1st, ending with a bang on December 5th. Tune in nightly at 7:30 for your chance to win amazing prizes. Fill out your coupons and return them for just 25 cents each. Now even easier with DigiWallet and eCash. So join the fun, feel the energy, and remember,
You do not say hello, you do not say you do not say hola, you do not say where to go on. It's only Gimme 5 that allows you to
Give me
win.
five, give me five, give me five!
This Christmas, get into the joy with Uno. Imagine winning a shiny motorcycle, a brand new TV, a brand new fan, or grocery coupons to make your holiday shopping easier. The surprises keep coming. All you have to do is visit Uno, and for every $25 on fuel, you'll get a coupon. Fill out and participate. Get one coupon for each quart of Uno lubricants or 2 for a gallon. Visit your nearest Uno gas station today. Fill your tank and drive into Christmas cheer with Uno. Uno gas stations.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. This is our first conversation this morning, and we are joined by representatives from PAHO, from the University of Belize, as well as the Ministry from the Belize Agricultural Health Authority. We are here to talk about World Antimicrobial Resistance Awareness Week. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's a bit of a tongue twister. But we have here with us Dr. Ana de la Garza. She is a PAHO WHO, the World Health Organization, Belize Technical Advisor for Communicable Disease Prevention, Control, and Elimination.
Good morning.
We also have here with us Miss Lydia Turton. She is the Dean representing the Faculty of Health Science over at the University of Belize, and also with her is Dr. Natalie Gibson. She's the Technical Director of Food Safety representing the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, also known as PAHO. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Now, I know we have some activities on our hands, but let's jump straight into it. We are recognizing World Antimicrobial Resistance Awareness Week, or for short, World AMR Week, Awareness Week. Let's talk about what AMR is, antimicrobial resistance, for persons who might not know exactly what that is.
Okay. So antimicrobial resistance stands for AMR. So AMR, unfortunately, refers to a situation of global concern. What is happening? Microbes like bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi are not responding anymore to medication. So this is a global concern. And what we are doing with this Awareness Week is actually to raise awareness about the problem. So it's very important that we know that this situation has been evolving for years. As you know, medications help us to treat infections. And what happens when we are not able to treat infections with medicines? So, of course, what we want to raise here is that it's a public health problem, that it's preventable, and that with some actions that we all can do, we are actors here to prevent AMR, we can actually decrease the situation and try not to get a more serious problem about this. So AMR is for that, to prevent those type of global concern that we are living.
What are some of the contributing factors to these infections not being impacted anymore by medication that is given?
Correct. So there's overuse or misuse of different antimicrobials. That includes antibiotics, antiparasites, antivirals, etc. Right? So this situation has been producing that this microorganism evolved and developed some resistance to medication.
Because of the overuse?
Overuse, misuse, and let's just remember that this type of medication is used by humans, but also animals, and that we are all interconnected. So it's a global concern, but it's not only from human side, also from animal and environmental side.
Perhaps you can jump in, Dr. Gibson, from the animal perspective.
Yes.
Sorry, Dr. Gibson.
Yes.
From the animal perspective, in terms of how this conversation is taking place there.
Yes, so I'm from the Food Safety Department of PAHO, and we work closely with also the Animal Health Department of PAHO. So our concern is when these resistant organisms affect human or infect humans through food, so foodborne illness. And on the animal health side, that is where we can do a lot of prevention in terms of what we call prudent use of, and we're mostly concerned with antibiotics in the animal sector, but the prudent use with animals. So of course, we know a fraction of human health, they are concerned with a wide gamut of diseases, and well, we are focused on the ones that are foodborne. So in terms of prevention also, we need to have persons reporting foodborne diseases, And Dr. De La Garza mentioned misuse of antibiotics.
Yes.
You know, people.
That's a common issue here in Belize, I think.
Just for clarity, what are we talking about with the misuse of antibiotics and how it leads to this anti-resistance, if you would?
So let's just remember that when we have an infection, it's common that sometimes we self-medicate, and this is what we are talking about when we say misuse, right? So one of the things that we need to understand is that we don't need antibiotics for everything.
For every infection.
For every infection. So it's very important to be aware of this. And it's always very important to go to the healthcare facility and to get a prescription if they are really needed, and complete that prescription, complete your treatment. Because sometimes when we feel better, we forget about the antibiotic and we don't complete the course of the treatment, right? So this also promotes resistance, for example,
I'll tell you, Dr. Anna, how it works. A lot of people, they get their prescription. If they have an infection, they get their prescription of antibiotics and they take it until they feel better. And then whatever's left over, if they have a similar type of symptom show up again, maybe a few months later, they go back to that because they don't want to pay to maybe visit the doctor. And then there are other instances where, let's be honest, some antibiotics are sold over the counter. There are people who have gotten antibiotics without prescriptions as well. I'm not saying that doctors are doing that or pharmacists are doing that. I don't even know how they do it, but I know people say that you can get antibiotics without prescriptions as well.
Yeah, but that is to say that the medication we're using in hope of quelling the symptoms is actually leading to certain negative effects.
I also wanted to add too, though, before we go to you, Ms. Turton, that people are also using antibiotics across the board, like without knowing what specific one they need to use as well. Just because it's an antibiotic, you think, okay, that'll cure my respiratory infection, or that'll cure any other infection that I have. So I think it's lack of knowledge too.
Yes.
Ms. Turton, what would you say?
So from our perspective at the Faculty of Health Sciences, of course, we have the responsibility of preparing nurses, pharmacists, med lab technologists. And so the responsibility there is knowing what the law is in terms of the sale of antibiotics. And you have a responsibility when you become a practitioner to uphold the law. We also have a responsibility to educate people on the proper use. And one of the things that we also focus on is the rational use. When do you really need it? Is it the correct one? Have you done the right assessment to determine what is needed? And what happens when it's not used properly? Remember, we're dealing with organisms that also want to survive. So through mutations and other factors, they develop mechanisms to prevent the antibiotic, the antifungal, the antiparasitic from working against them, because they are also trying to survive. So that is what it is. And these organisms, through genetic mutations, can become resistant.
And what does that look like in the human being in terms of their health and physicality?
It means that an infection that ordinarily would have used inexpensive antibiotic for a short period of time, now you have to use something else that might be more expensive for a longer period of time. So there's increase in the duration of illness, there's increase in costs. And so as a community and in terms of looking at the health of the population, it's important that we pay attention to it to reduce these things.
And we're noticing that in Belize, like that's happening?
Yeah, it's happening globally. And so we also use these antibiotics. We are fighting the same infections. So,
well, we do have an awareness week coming up to spread further information to the general public on what the issue is at hand and what we should all be doing as well collectively. Let's talk about this year's theme for World Antimicrobial Resistance Awareness Week. I see it here as Act Now, Protect Our Present, Secure Our Future. What is that message in this theme? What should we be talking about through this theme?
I think it's precisely what you were saying. Is this something that it's in Belize?
Yeah.
This is present globally. This is a situation that we need to be aware of right now. Not it's happening right now globally. So the theme of this awareness week is because of that. We need to be aware what's happening. It's a public health problem that we are all facing, that we need to take action right now for the future, to secure our future. We need to understand that we all are key actors to prevent antimicrobial resistance, and through education and different activities that we are actually coordinating together, we are going to raise awareness to the general public to what actions can be taken to prevent antimicrobial resistance together.
And one of them is a health fair that's set to take place as well. Can we talk about that, when the date is and what we can expect?
So we will be, that is the Faculty of Health Sciences, will be hosting the awareness activity on the UB campus in Belmopan. And we have various stakeholders who will also be there sharing information, educating the public. It's open for everyone to come. And so it's an opportunity for us to interact with others, general public, medical practitioners, everybody, so that we each begin to pay closer attention as to what our responsibilities are, because we all have a role to play in trying to combat and to reduce the rate at which this occurs.
Let's talk about some of those actions that can be taken as well, since we have you all here. From the food quality assurance, from the food safety perspective, what are we looking at in terms of actions we can take?
So I'll speak a little for food safety and for animal health.
Go right ahead.
For food safety, it would be the same measures you take to prevent foodborne disease: hygiene, hand washing, avoiding cross-contamination in your kitchen, the way you store your meats and other products. And in the animal health sector, some of the key stakeholders there are veterinarians, farmers, in terms of then the way they treat their animals with antibiotics. So not using antibiotics unnecessarily, and not using, we talk about critically important antibiotics. So there are some antibiotics that we need to preserve for human use exclusively. And so we want to avoid then using those in the animal sector. And for the animals, it's the same, right? If you practice good hygiene, you can avoid infection. So that's what we need the farmers to be doing, to be employing good hygiene practices to then avoid them having to reduce infections and then having to depend on antibiotics to treat them.
What else does PAHO want the public to know, either about this campaign, about our priorities here in Belize, or about the fair that's taking place?
Well, I think that prevention, it's what's most important. That again, we need to understand that hygiene measures, basic hygiene measures, are going to prevent infections. That's what we want. We also, of course, support the idea of do not self-medicate. That's very important. And also complete your treatment as prescribed. That's also something important that we need to highlight. And of course, just to let you know, Belize is working in collaboration with PAHO to strengthen surveillance, which is important. That way, we know what's happening if it's occurring here in Belize. We are strengthening also the lab capacity for diagnosis. And Belize is part of an important strategy that we are implementing in the Caribbean along with other countries, precisely to do this, to strengthen surveillance, to be more prepared for this situation. So those are some things that we are doing jointly with the Ministry of Health, but also with other actors. It's important also to know that Belize has a One Health approach initiative. So that includes that sometimes actions that we are working together are taken between different sectors, the Ministry of Health, agriculture, environmental, because like we were saying, everyone plays a role here.
Do we have any diagnosis data so far here in Belize?
Yeah, I mean, there are data. Of course, also the healthcare facilities have IPC programs. This means infection prevention and control programs, where they monitor infections. So there's data, of course, and Belize is monitoring what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is so eye-opening. There's so many things happening in the world of health. I can't keep up, but this one for me certainly is eye-opening. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies, we are out of time. It has been a wonderful conversation, but I want to include you guys in our motivational quote this morning. Our motivational quote goes like this: culture is a canoe. We paddle it forward by teaching our children the rhythms that carried our people here. Oh, I've never heard of that one. That sounds really good.
Nice one.
All right. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be joined by our friends from Edward P. Arc High School, bringing fresh insight into World Children's Day.
Belize is on the move. The coastal road is now powered by Digi's ever-expanding 4G LTE Advanced Network. Now you can stream that music, track that storm, or stop to send that file. Digi 4G LTE has got you covered. Digi, leading Belize's digital transformation.
Oh, I wasn't having a bad day. I just needed...
It's here. The biggest sale of the year. Find your happy place at Builders Hardware with our happy sale from October 15th to December 31st. Whether you're a contractor or a DIY pro, we got unbeatable prices that will put a big smile on your face. Freshen up your walls with 20% off all paints and 25% off paint supplies. Upgrade your space with 25% off lights, fans, AC, and a wide selection of tiles to match your style. Plus, enjoy 30 to 50% off selective items. But that's not all. We also sell sand and gravel, blocks, roofing, and more. Find everything you need from construction start to finish. Don't miss out on our happy deals. Shop today or explore our online store at shopbuildersbz.com. Visit Builders Hardware in Belmopan. This is your happy place.
It's celebration time! Greater Belize Media is turning 34 years strong. That's 34 years of bringing you the news you trust, the shows you love, and the stories that bring us together. So you know what that means. It's time for...
Give me five, give me five, give me five!
The countdown begins on December 1st, ending with a bang on December 5th. Tune in nightly at 7:30 for your chance to win amazing prizes. Fill out your coupons and return them for just 25 cents each. Now even easier with DigiWallet and eCash. So join the fun, feel the energy, and remember,
you do not say hello, you do not say you do not say hola, you do not say where to go on. It's only Gimme 5 that allows you to
Give me five, give me five, give me five!
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Say
it with color. Say it with texture. Say it with Design Depot. Step inside Belize's #1 tile destination, where you can find every style and every finish. Choose from a large assortment of ceramic, porcelain, stone, and mosaic tiles. The selection is truly unmatched. Right now, enjoy up to 25% off all tiles. And with every purchase, you'll be entered to win a $25,000 home makeover. Some restrictions may apply. Design Depot, Belize's #1 tile destination. Design Depot, all in one place. Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
My name is Leomar Langzert, and I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is to see if the features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
No Wi-Fi.
Might want to sing it note for note, don't worry.
Yo, bro,
be happy.
Excuse me, class.
In every life we
Bro,
have some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy.
Wherever the coastal road takes you, don't worry. Be happy. Smart has you covered. Smart, bringing people together.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full-Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy Inc. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. We have an exciting conversation lined up here. This one is from the Embassy of Japan in Belize. And we have the first secretary, and you'll forgive me if I don't say the names correct, but I'll try my best. We have Miss First Secretary Yomiko Shinya.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Wataru Yonezawa.
Hi.
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome. We did it. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you guys. It's lovely having you here.
Now, let's talk a bit about what we're doing here today. Talk to us about the cultural performance and you all immersing yourself in Belizean culture. Talk about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's really good, to have this opportunity. So, I'm from the Embassy of Japan. We are here to, to build, the bilateral relationship between Belize and Japan, and also, the promotion of Japanese culture is one of, our missions. And this time we are so fortunate to have, the Japanese dance group called Takarabune. 5 of them are here. They are on the Central American tour. So they have been visiting 6 countries, and Belize, is one of them. And this is the group has performed at the
Garifuna
Concert.
When? Last night?
Yes, yesterday and the day before in Belmont.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Now, what inspired you guys to immerse yourself in our own culture as well? Because I imagine you guys could have done something separately, but you chose to also be a part of the Garifuna culture. First off, how was it received by the people as well? Wataru?
もしかしたら宝船がやってる阿波踊りもそのガリフナさんの音楽もすごいもともとは似てたんじゃないかなっていうふうに感じて、とてもコラボレーションがうまくいってすごい仲良くなった感じがしました。So he's saying that when when the group saw the Garifuna music and dance, they felt a bit of a similarity, with the Japanese dance style. They will show us later, and so they are very happy to see that some connection despite the distance.
What does how do you display Japanese culture through dance?
はい、そのダンスとして表現するんですか。そうですね。なんかこの僕たちが今元気とか今生きてるよみたいなものを表現して、でもともと盆踊りから始まってるので、死者の日のようにその亡くなった方とかが帰ってきている感じみたいなものを感じながら、今僕たち幸せだよみたいな感じを踊ってます。Yeah, so originally, their dance style is called awa odori. Is from the bon odori, that's the Japanese Japanese like a period for the they're commemorating the spirit of the dead. So it's similar to the Dia de Muertos. Yeah,
wow. Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
And we have it in August, by the way. So but so through this dance, the dancers are expressing, like we are alive, we are here, we are happy.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Now, I thank you for translating. We appreciate you being his translator. It helps us to understand exactly what he's saying. For the embassy, why is it important for the embassy to keep Japanese culture in the sight and eyes of Belizeans?
Sure. Yeah. We believe that the cultural exchange is also part of the diplomacy. Yeah. It's really important for every Belizean national to have some experience and exposure. In Japan, not everyone may not have chance to visit Japan, but we are here, and the group are here to show how we live, what culture we have, and then let the Belizean people enjoy and be familiar with that. That is really important step to get to know about countries and build a friendship between Belize and Japan.
Now we have some dancers that will be showcasing their beautiful presentation in just a moment. Tell us a bit about the group, the name of the group. Are they an official dance group?
What's the name?
Tell us a bit about the group, the name of it, and how we can see them even after this.
Ah, 宝船っていう名前は船で、そこにいろいろな例えば神様とか宝物が乗ってるっていう意味なんですけど、そのメンバーが宝物だとして同じ目標に向かって進んでいくみたいな意味があります。でこれからもいろんな世界中海を渡っていろんなところに日本文化を届けていきたいなと思ってます。
So the group name is Takarabune in Japanese, and it means the treasure ship.
The treasure ship.
Yeah, yeah. So they want to they want to sail to the different countries, to show the treasures they had, themselves and the culture, itself.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna.
Can we
head
now
things
start?
over now to them. We have them.
They're gonna join them.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go right ahead.
Beautiful.
All right, they're getting ready there. They have their instruments. They're doing their final preparations.
All right. Yeah! Here we go!
Wow, that was an adrenaline
I know, it felt amazing.
rush.
It felt like the floor was shaking. You could feel the vibrations here. It was beautiful. We even got to dancing as well over here.
What's the name of that instrument that they keep hitting? What's the name of it? The one?
The one that Wataru was using. What's the name of that instrument?
Come, Wataru. Yes, this is all happening in real time. Kane.
Kane, so it's a ring.
It's ring.
Yeah.
Wow, I love the sound of this. This is amazing. And it keeps the rhythm.
Yes.
It keeps the rhythm going.
Yes.
This is amazing. You did such a good job.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Well, we know that we're expecting even more of this. Hopefully we can see even more presentations coming from the Embassy of Japan.
Are you performing anytime soon anywhere, or this is it? Are you performing?
I know they're trying to travel across the country. Well,
Where are you
they're trying to go
performing
outside
next?
the country.
Well, yes, the
Next.
one, actually, yesterday
Where are you
was the
performing
last
next?
one to have the public, event.
Okay.
Today, actually, after that, we are having an event at
In
the
Dangriga?
primary, in Belize,
In Belize
the
City.
primary school.
Ah.
And that's the final one in Belize, and the group is traveling to Costa Rica.
Where?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
So Central America.
Well,
Wow.
I know the kids will love it today. So all the best, okay? And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Well, we got to take a quick
Yeah.
break, Paul. It was fun. But I love that, like school bell ringing, time for break, right? And when we come back, we have more for you right here on Open Your Eyes.
We continue to celebrate diversity and embrace our vibrant cultural heritage. Happy Garifuna Settlement Day from BEL. Gundala Hafedo Garina Guhamage Belize Electricity Limited.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today. Only at Cellular World.
Remember, not all light bulbs are created equal.
Our lighting department offers a wide assortment of light fixtures and accessories to suit your style. So stop in today and get the right illumination for your homecation. And don't forget your B-Box when you make a purchase. Benny's, quality and savings.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
You see, the thing with me is that I just like my freedom, and when it comes to things like that, I just don't like feel tied down.
You think I don't know, but like my granny said, every part of the cover.
Well, I could say, I just do the runs. But one thing I could tell you, you can't deny one good connection.
Why get tied down? With Smart Supercharged prepaid plans, you get all the postpaid perks you love, but with no contracts. Just pay up front for your talk, text, and data package and enjoy total freedom for up to 30 days and starting as low as $35. That's right, no commitments for less than $1.25 per day. Just simple, flexible plans that keep you connected your way. Because with Smart, you call the shots. Dial 7526 or star 100#. Use the Smart app or visit a Smart prepaid agent to supercharge your connectivity today. Smart, bringing people together.
Mr.
Paul. So it's World Children's Day, as you guys may know, and it's really exciting for me. I'm happy I'm here interviewing you guys.
We're happy to be here with you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
You know what? Let's start off with a good question. How is it like when you guys were younger, experiencing Belize growing up? You know, how is that like for each of you?
Go ahead, you first.
My childhood was great. I grew up in the rural part of the country, so in the River Valley, and I grew up with a lot of cousins. I grew up with a lot of women around me, my grandma, my mom, my aunties, and I had wonderful siblings as well. I feel like I had a pretty well-rounded childhood.
Yeah, for me, my childhood, I also grew up in a village. I grew up in Kamalote village, that's in the Kayo district. And when you grow up in a village, you pretty much know everybody. And because you know everybody, your family kind of trusts you from a young age to like be around, to walk around the village, knowing that nobody will hurt you or harm you. And then growing up in a village, I also went to the village school. And a lot of people used to say, well, the education is not as good in the village as it is in like the city. But for me, I found that it was good enough. I used to pass a lot, and friends used to help me to go through school and stay in school and stay focused. And growing up in the village as a child also, we never used to have like all the amenities that you see in the city.
Like
so the
what?
streets never paved.
Okay.
Shop the corner shops. Like we don't know about big grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't learn about big grocery store when I started going to high school.
Okay,
And then I realized, wait, the grocery store is then bigger than the ones in the village.
Okay, so your childhood was great.
So my childhood was awesome. I'm trying to give her as much information about my childhood as possible, right?
So, well, we don't want to take your time, but continue.
Yes, I guess we all have a village experience because I'm
you
from
grew up in a village?
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah. But Ladyville is not a village, man. Ladyville is a city, you know.
Well, we still feel very villages. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So, okay, how should young people be included in decisions about our future? What do you guys think about that?
I think this is a beautiful question, and I love the opportunity to answer this because my own personal story has been connected to this type of conversation. As me and Paul mentioned, I come from a village upbringing, but I remember as I got older, around 17, 18, directly after graduating high school, I really immersed myself in volunteering. And I wound up volunteering and then even working at the Department of Youth Services at the time. So that was under the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and I think culture as well. But that was the conversation. We wanted to have our voices be heard. We wanted to be included around decision-making conversations as well. And we wanted to be taken seriously. So a lot of people kind of tended to say, you know, young people, they don't necessarily know what they want. But we really wanted to share another message that there were a lot of young people who had a vision for their lives already. And they were, you know, they had their heads on their bodies. And so in doing so, I found myself volunteering a lot, and that was how I was able to get in these spaces where decisions were being made, and they really heard my voice and my contribution to certain things that were affecting young people at that time, still very much affecting young people now. So if I could answer that question, I'd say by being included, including yourself, even if you're not included, even if they don't necessarily have spaces for youth voices, go up to these organizations, things that you're connected to or you care about, whether it's environment, whether it's governance, and ask those questions. Hey, do you have a youth body? Do you have a youth group? Do you want to, is there any way you're open to that? Can I be involved? Can I volunteer? And that's how I was able to get myself involved.
You mentioned, I'm sorry to interject.
No, go, you're the host.
But you mentioned the country or the region that we're in, basically, they don't really acknowledge us as youths. Can you go more into that?
Well, what I was saying was at that time, there were challenges where young people felt that their voices weren't being heard.
Okay.
And I think that's still very much a concern that a lot of people have. I think it has evolved very much since then, though. That was about a decade or so ago. Mm-hmm. Since then, we've seen a lot of young faces in Parliament. We've seen Children's Parliament most recently. Yeah. We see younger ministers. And so while that will still be an issue, we'll still always want young people to be more present in decision-making bodies. I think that particular problem is a lot less now. Of course, there's still the general issues like people wanting more opportunities, young people wanting more opportunities, concerns about how violence is affecting young people across the board as well. Mm-hmm. That's still very much a concern I think a lot of us still have.
Okay, I agree totally with that. And I believe like the country or the region which we're in, like I've been thinking about it, I feel like they don't really facilitate for children's voices to be heard because, you know, we live in that society that you're the child, you must keep quiet. Yes, you should be respectful, but you should also be able to voice out your opinions.
Yeah. But you know, I will tell you, I think it's also cultural too, because when we think of the upbringings that we had, especially coming from villages or rural communities, you know, you grew up very mannerly. Yeah. You grew up having to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, and you're taught you don't speak unless they're speaking to you. You don't insert yourself in big people conversation. And so that's kind of engraved within us, and we feel that we have to become a certain age for us to give our own input when it involves us.
Yeah,
you know?
I think one of the challenges with today is that oftentimes young people don't feel like the issue they're concerned about or the challenge they're facing matters, right? So, or is important enough to voice. So I think that's where we need to begin by helping young people to understand that what you're going through matters, and it's you voicing your concern or your opinion or your position on what you're going through right now helps to foster that level of advocacy that you'll need in the future. So when you're a teenager, what you're going through and what matters then, you would have already fostered that ability to speak up. And when you become an adult, again, that same skill that you learned as a young person, because you understand that what you're going through matters, you're going to be able to voice those concerns as well as an adult.
Yes, and I'm happy we're on the right track, because the next question then stems down to, what do you think adults still misunderstand about our generation?
What do they still misunderstand?
Perhaps I could go first.
Go, you go then.
I think one of the things that adults still misunderstand about the young generation, if you would, is that it's a misunderstanding, but also it's a bit of forgetfulness that we too are young people. And we, because of how fast life moves and how much we experience in a year, much more 5 years and 10 years, we often forget as grown-ups that we were once young.
And you probably made those same type of decisions.
We probably made a lot of decisions that we frowned upon or that we think are unwise. But if we put ourselves in the shoes of the young people, the shoes that we were once in, shoes that we once filled, then we can really begin to understand, if we want to understand, exactly what young people are going through.
I think it comes from a place of really not wanting other people to repeat the same mistakes that we might have made too, though. I mean, I remember hearing that.
Shaped us.
I know, but you don't, if you love someone, you don't want to see them be hurt too. So that's, I think, a rebuttal that I would give adults, and even myself sometimes. I tend to, I feel like I carried a very old soul as a young person. And so in a lot of cases, I observed everyone's kind of situation, the older people around me, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, I don't want to become that. But in other instances, you also have older people who they're trying to guide you, and maybe they didn't necessarily have that loving parent around them that were able to sit down with them and have a heart-to-heart or have that conversation. So it was more of like a dictating type conversation. But if there's anything that I think we tend to misunderstand sometimes about young people, and I am guilty of this as well, I think we kind of look at one person and class them all as the same. But I try to correct myself in the same light and say, I remember when I was growing up and I didn't exactly fit the mold. And I wouldn't necessarily have wanted people to say, well, you know, you're just like that other young person there who might not necessarily be focused. And so for me, sometimes if I see a set of young people who might seem like they're really distracted, it kind of gets me overwhelmed, and I get frustrated, and I would think to myself, is this what we are going to be looking forward to in the future? But then I get to sit down with students like yourself, and I'm reminded that no, you have very much young people like the one that you were when you were growing up. And you just have to trust that they are doing the right thing. And yeah, they will make mistakes,
of course,
but they're gonna get it together in time as well.
So empathy is a big thing that you believe that they should have.
So
what do you think is one problem that you faced when you were younger?
When I was younger, I mean, I faced the universal youth problems. I felt at times that they didn't understand me. I felt especially so because I didn't fit a mold around me. I felt very different a lot of times when I was younger, especially when I was around other young people. But I will admit, and this is something that has haunted me even in my adult years, because I felt so different, I oftentimes didn't want to share what I was thinking. And so now as an adult, I still fight with that. I don't want to show how different I am or how different I think. And so I tend to kind of isolate myself a lot of times, and it's crazy because I work on TV and my job is to share what I think. But that was an issue that I faced as a young person. I felt that it felt very scary kind of sharing with adults and even with young people what I thought, because I knew I could just look around me and I already knew that I was very much different from everyone.
Yeah, for me, one of the big issues I faced as a child was bullying. I was bullied heavily in primary school and somewhat in high school, and that played a lot on my self-image. That's played a lot on how I spoke up for myself. I was bullied after school, I was bullied during school, I was bullied on the playground, just in the community, and I couldn't take up for myself. I was this short, chubby kid, and people looked at me that way. And so it's amazing how life has come full circle in that where self-confidence was a huge issue. Now I'm working on a platform that self-confidence is a huge thing in terms of speaking out and letting your voice be heard. And so for me, it's a message to young people that go through bullying that it doesn't define you, and that a lot of times the same people that bully you, they're probably going through certain things themselves.
Yeah, maybe at home.
And you could get over that experience and you could still have a bright and strong future.
How did you get over that?
How did I get over it?
Yeah.
I think I got over it with time, honestly. I got over it also in my later years by what I said earlier, understanding that a lot of times bullies are hurt, right? There are people that are hurt. And when I looked at their family structure, and I wasn't trying to judge them or be critical of them, but as I grew older, I looked at their family structure, I looked at their absent, maybe a single parent home, I looked at their financial situation, and I realized that, you know what? You know, just like me in a lot of ways, but you just expressed it different. You expressed it through bullying, and I felt more sorry and more forgiving for them than I felt that anger and that hate. And that's kind of how I got over bullying in my later years.
I think this is the perfect time to tell the audience that no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, your voice matters and you should speak out. And bullying is a very serious thing. Suicide month just passed, and you know, it's really sad to see in the Caribbean that we facilitate a bullying culture. And
I mean, I know we're not supposed to ask questions, but is bullying a thing at the school that you come from?
Yes, my school has an anti-bullying platform. They're really against it, and instead they try to foster a community and family-based type of lifestyle for the students. And I really love it because it makes you feel like you're interconnected with everyone. It doesn't matter which form you're in, first to fourth, you feel like everyone is your family.
And I know I'm just a guest, but you're really good at this.
I know,
so
I love
just
it.
want to commend you for the good job you're doing so far.
You.
Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, keep them coming.
Yes, so what message would you give to Belizean youths today?
I'd give the same message that I was trying to send when I was 17, when I was 18 years old, that your voices do matter, and that you belong in spaces where decision is being made, especially when it involves young people. I'd tell, hopefully, if there's any young person who could resonate with what I described feeling as a young person that later on affected me as an adult, to share how you feel, even if you feel different. You might find other people that are like you. You might find your circle, because I felt a lot of times isolated because I couldn't necessarily pinpoint who was very much like me. And even now as an adult, I think I kind of found ways to become a chameleon with everyone. I've stumbled upon people who are very much like me as well. So share who you are. Don't be afraid to show yourself, even if you're different, and spread that message of wanting to be included. And if you see organizations or places or people who don't have young faces with them, volunteer yourself to be a part of that platform as well.
For me, I think it's perhaps a generic advice given to a lot of young people, but it really began resonating with me of recent, which is to be yourself. We always hear it, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Admittedly, it took me 30 years of my life to understand what it means to be yourself. A part of what being yourself is becoming free of all the imposed expectations and thoughts of ideologies and beliefs of who you are supposed to be and what you are supposed to be. A lot of times as young people, we shy away from being ourselves because we think about what this one will think of me, or what that one will think of me. And being yourself doesn't always mean coming out and being vocal. Sometimes being yourself means that you might not be interested in what this person is interested in.
That's true. Maybe you don't want to be on a platform and be talking. Maybe you want to be behind the scenes.
Or maybe you don't want to go to the party because that's not you, and your friends want to go to the party. You're being yourself. Maybe you don't want to do certain, maybe you don't want to take art. You want to take science because you are interested in science.
Maybe
but you know what? You're a nerd. Embracing and being yourself. I have learned my confidence has grown leaps and bounds simply because I've decided to embrace who I am, and I've decided to, regardless of what anybody say, I want to be myself. So you want to find confidence? A lot of young people are asking, where can I find confidence? You'll find confidence by being yourself and embracing exactly who you are.
And it feels freeing.
Freeing, of course,
Yeah.
100%.
Basically, authenticity.
Authenticity.
I love it.
Yes.
Be yourself. I definitely agree with you, because when you have confidence, it's deeply rooted in no matter what anybody says, you're able to speak up and know that you trust in yourself and you believe in who you are. But to Paul, what kind of Belize would you like to see for your daughter?
Oh, what kind of Belize I would like to see for my daughter? I think one, a Belize that she can afford to live in.
Yes.
Right? That's very practical. So a Belize that she can afford to live in. I also want to see a Belize where the persons that lead her in government are passionate about leadership, are passionate about developing the nation, are passionate about moving the nation from a developing country to a first world country. I think just having passionate leaders in government, people that really care about their people and really care about their well-being, that's the type of future I want to see for my daughter, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And for Miss Saab, change to the future for the kids. What would you like to see in the changing of the future for your future children or for children on a whole?
I love that question because there's so much that you want to see, and I could get overly ambitious and hope that my children will be around when Belize becomes a first world country. But I just want them to feel safe more than anything. I think us being in new spaces, it's really hard to report on crimes that affect young people in general. I want them to feel that they have an equal opportunity to become whoever they want to be. You know, I want them to not be scared to say that they want to be this thing and not feel like, you know, they're not good enough to become a doctor if they want, or they're not good enough to become a scientist or an attorney or even a politician, you know? It's so beautiful to see young people like yourself not being afraid to be on couches like this that some adults even shake to be beside us.
So true.
So I want them to have that confidence, especially that Paul spoke of, but to be confident enough to dream whatever they want to dream. If they want to be a YouTuber, you know, be a YouTuber. And I'm hoping that that's the future that Belize will foster for young people in general, and for anyone in general.
I must say though, I'm very proud of my country, Belize. I think we're coming such a long way from where we started off. And I just feel like we're starting to facilitate the spaces that young people need to be able to grow, because the reality is we are the future. We're going to be the future leaders, and without us in those spaces, who'll be able to bring up the hard topics and the things that we actually have to discuss.
Yeah, I love your optimism.
There was a point that we would always mention, you know, during my time of advocacy as a young person, and we mentioned, you know, young people are the future, but they're also the now, they're the present. And so you can't foster the future without working on the present right now. And so that's so important to have young people like yourself showcasing to other people watching right now, older people and younger persons as well, that, yeah, we want a bright future, but it doesn't happen magically. You have to work on it now. So young people are the future, but they're also the present.
Yes, I totally agree. So we mentioned your daughter, so I believe you're a big girl dad.
He is a girl dad.
Yes. Which type of spaces would you like to see open up for your daughter?
Yeah, wow, that's a good question. Well, for her as a child, I know for a fact that in the community we reside in right now, there isn't really much of like safe playgrounds and parks. And I'm a believer that play helps kids to learn, right, and develop holistically. And so that's one of the spaces I want to see open up for her as a child. And then as she grows up into perhaps a primary school and middle school and so forth, I just want to see in my community more spaces for girls to come together, to share their challenges, to be able to speak and form an identity and contribute to community growth and community development. And the good thing is, right now that happens through the church. In a community, there's like youth groups where they can go and they can develop their thinking and develop their thoughts. But I'm also speaking outside of the church, spaces within the community that helps young girls to have a voice and have a platform on how they can change their community, how they can develop their community in collaboration perhaps with their elected leader, their minister, their area representative. We don't see that in our communities, and I think that would be a great addition to the community we live in and the communities across the country.
Yes, definitely, especially in the village areas.
Especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although we're still developing, I feel like the cities are much more advanced in the sense that they're able to have more opportunities for certain facilitations for younger children, especially than teens. But to wrap up everything, I think the main point that came out was definitely being authentic to yourself, knowing who you are and knowing that your voice does matter. Would you guys like to add anything to that?
I mean, for sure, I think authenticity is the word of the day, not only for young people, but for even adults alike. I think that we're in some trying times, I will admit, and it's not just here in Belize, but across the world, where a lot of people are scared to be themselves because of cancel culture. That's also something that's trying to leak its way into Belize as well. But there are people who are trying. Paul, you also spoke a lot about the government's response to a lot of the things that we're hoping to see for young people right now and also in the future. And I'm hoping that persons listening would also consider that as well. If there's anything that I would like to share as my imparting message, it's just to continue to put yourself in spaces like this. That will always be my message, because the way that I grew up in a village, but I didn't have access to a lot of resources from my family's side. They did as much as they could. And so I had to find ways to insert myself and show what I was capable of, and hope that, people would see that within me as well. And a lot of people looked at me when they saw some of the opportunities that I got, and they thought maybe it was given to me, but it really wasn't. I did not grow up with money. I grew up with a lot of people working very hard, and that was instilled within me as well. And so for persons tuning in feeling like they are not able to become a certain thing because they didn't grow up around that, you can. And so that's my message to young persons as well, to remain hopeful, to dream big. You can become whatever you want to be, as long as you put yourself in spaces, put yourself out there, shake the right hands and introduce yourself to people and let them know what you want to be and what you're able to contribute. They will listen to you.
For me, my final thought is for us to embrace that we are intelligent beyond our wildest imagination. And because of that, we shouldn't put ourselves in a box, right? To say that this is the only career path, to be a politician, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, to be a talk show host. I agree with Sabrina about putting yourself out there, but not everybody feels like they can put themselves out there, and I think that's okay as well. I think it's okay if you're shy. I think it's okay if you're quiet. I think there's still a space for you, even if that space is in your room, on your computer, learning something very technical that we will need because we're publicly and we don't understand. So don't put yourself in a box to say that you have to do this or you have to be that or you have to meet this person to move forward. You're intelligent beyond your wildest imagination, and any space you find yourself in, that intelligence will ooze out and you will be amazing at what you do.
It was amazing being your host for
amazing
today.
having you here.
Thank you. And this was very insightful. For our audience, I would like you to know that no matter where you're from, no matter who you are, your voice does matter, and you make an impact on our world.
Okay.
All right, so thank you so much. What we want to do right now is include you in our cultural phrase of the day, okay?
And she is from a village, so she should
All
know
right.
this.
So you will have to help me break down what this cultural phrase means. It's our Creole cultural phrase.
Okay.
And we are trying to decipher it. So in a Creole, it say, kind words never broke jaw bone. In a English, it mean kind words never break a jawbone. What do you think that means?
I definitely think it means that, going back to the phrase, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words may,
So you think
cannot?
it means?
I think that's what it is.
Do you think? So you think that's what it means?
Yeah, definitely.
All
Just
right.
translating over to that.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
What we have here as the meaning is that you'll never get hurt or hit for saying something nice.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know
Yes.
what would be the instance that I would use something like
Kind
that.
words never break a jawbone. Like if you say something kind or something nice to somebody, it will hurt you for do that, right?
I mean, trying to figure out an instance that we'd use a phrase like that. I guess if
I've
you have
never
people
used a
around,
phrase like that
yeah,
in
never,
another
right?
village.
I guess it translates, like, I've heard this on TikTok, that, it takes more muscles in your face to frown than smile.
Something
I like
just
that.
like that.
Yes.
Exactly
I like that.
All
You know,
right.
a lot of people, they oftentimes feel the need to say, to critique people first, then try to find something positive to say. And I think that's where this comes from. Like, look, hurt if you say something nice, I think that's the phrase that I remember here. Hurt if you say something nice. But we don't say kind words never broke jaw. When we say hurt if you say something. You say, you lie. All right, well, we do got to wrap things up. It has been such a pleasure having you here, Favorite Joy. You are such a delight. I'm hoping that we have you here back on very soon. Whether it's as a guest or as a host, you're definitely welcome.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you guys and being able to talk to the audience.
All right. Well, as we wrap things up, if there's anyone celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com.
You could also catch us live on Facebook every weekday morning at Open Your Eyes BC.
As well as Instagram for behind the scenes contents. That's OIE Belize. You can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please, do us a favor and join us again tomorrow for What the Friday, when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and
your
your hearts open. With that, see you all tomorrow, Belize. Take care. Goodbye. Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.